So hello, it's Nora in the garden. But guess what? I'm in the kitchen. We're having a snowfall outside and it's a little cold out in the garden right now. But some people really like my videos, so they wanted me to do some other videos. So I'm here tonight making pierogies for Christmas. Now, we can't have people over for Christmas, but you know, I can drop some pierogies off to a few locations and I can share my pierogies that way. I have a Christmas dinner coming from elsewhere, but it doesn't include any pierogies or cabbage rolls. So I'm making my own pierogies. So the dough is there resting. It's supposed to rest for 30 minutes or to an hour. Some people even do their dough overnight. I'm just grating up some cheese. This is old cheese. When I was younger, I never liked old cheese. And I don't think this cheese is the same. But mostly I would put in cottage cheese, cheddar cheese, onions, and potatoes. That used to be my filling. So I don't have cottage cheese tonight. And my recipe that I have, it does call for cottage cheese, but I am not going to be putting cottage cheese today. I'm just going to put regular cheese. So I've got like a good bowl of cottage cheese here. And then I've got some onions. So it calls for a medium onion. So I have, these are small little onions. So I'm just going to cut up 3 of them. And I'm just going to put my frying pan on here. Now, some of you folks out there would have had babas, grandmas, that they would have their grandma's probably pierogi dough recipe. So I've been experimenting with different pierogi dough recipes. The one that I really have come to like is sour cream, but that's not the dough that I made. I made a different dough tonight, so I'm going to see how that goes. Maybe later I'll do a video on the different, oops, I'm getting cheese in my onions here. So just chopping these up. I thought, I should have some good polka music on in the background there. But my grandma, she was English. So, yeah, we did have pierogies, but we learned them from a Polish lady that was our neighbor, Mary Pushalak. So, my mom learned a lot of her cooking Ukrainian ethnic food from Mary. Mary used to come over when Dad was in the field, and she would help to cook. Especially I barely remember this. My sister was just born, so there was a little baby in the house, and Mom needed some help, so Mary would come over and help to cook, and Mom learned to cook cabbage rolls, pierogies. Now, Mom might have had, I don't know, Mom, if you're out there, you might have to let me know. She might have made some when she was younger, because Grandpa is Ukrainian, and he would have liked his Ukrainian food. So there may have been some pierogies and cabbage rolls in the house growing up, but I'm not sure where Grandma would have learned that. Maybe Grandpa made his own cabbage rolls and pierogies. So maybe my Uncle Reg or any of you guys out there, you could let me know, did you have pierogies and cabbage rolls growing up, and did Grandma learn to cook those, and who from? So yeah, we would have some cabbage rolls and pierogies. Maybe too we would get from the neighbor. So one thing too, while you're cooking, you got to try everything out. So try out the cheese, and that's very good. And I usually would have a wooden spoon, but these days who uses a wooden spoon? The wooden spoon would carry lots of germs. So I have a light silicone spatula here. Fry up the onions. Now you want to fry them up, just have them nice and soft. So this is the onions here in the pan here. You might see about getting another setup here where I can put the video on the stand. I actually have a stand for my old camera, but I don't know if my phone was set up on it. This cheese actually is very good. So while we're doing that, I got my potatoes here, they're all cooked. So something I learned, I haven't tried it yet, was to have your potatoes all done and cold when you're mixing in the cheese. Usually I've just done that. Let's see, I'm using my hands there, which that's okay because it's just me at home here. So it said to cook 6 large potatoes. So that's what I did. I have a whole pot of potatoes here. And usually when I do a pot of potatoes and this much, that's enough for one batch of the dough. So if you're going to do some different flavors or different kinds of pierogies, like I like to do maybe some sauerkraut pierogies, you want to do a whole different batch of that. So we'll get those potatoes in there. They're already all mashed up. It's actually, they're harder to mix. They're kind of hard. Mixing the cheese in there. So something else, you want a fair bit of salt and pepper. So we'll put a fair bit of that in there. Salt that up. And pepper. Oh, it's right behind the phone here. So we'll leave that just in case I need some more. You don't really want your onions to burn. You want them to just be nice and sauteed. Just so they're translucent and soft. I don't even really want them to brown too much. So I'm going to finish mixing this up. Now I know there's some editing we can do later on this video. I'll have to figure that out. So I'm going to use all these potatoes. One thing, if you don't have enough filling, you can just throw some other filling together later and add that and do a few more later. Yeah, I think that's enough cheese in there. Some people put cheese whiz. I like to use the real thing, so I like to use like real cheese. Okay. And we'll just add our onion. There we go. You know, any Ukrainian family, Polish, East European, one of the things they like to have Christmas Eve is to go meatless. And one of the dishes that's usually served will be pierogies. So we mix this all in here. And can add a little more salt and pepper to taste. So we'll get that all mixed, and then I'll be ready to roll out the dough and fill the pierogi. So we can catch you later on that, and over and out, and have a great day. Norah in the garden.